New Bully. I'm your host Leroy with my co-host.
This is Eli.
Yep, and we're back with another episode. And Eli, are you ready for some foosball?
Foosball, yes.
Yes.
I was. I was actually watching preseason shit. So
Really?
yeah.
Okay. Did your team play today? Anything like that? Or?
They did. They played and they won. Yes.
Oh, cool.
So that was nice.
And your team is the
Vikings,
I know
Minnesota.
you told me this. I completely forgot it the moment you told me. That's okay. I'll be honest with you because I'm glad you're excited for it. I'm glad everybody else is excited for it. I mean, I don't give a fuck about football. I don't. I used to want to try to care to get into it, but the older I get, the more I'm starting to realize that I don't really give a shit about doing stuff that other people like. I just like what I like. So I'm getting less and less enthused with foosball, and I hate this time of year. Even though I know you all love it, but I'm just sick of hearing about it on social media, on the feed, on every conversation. I go to the urinal, I take a piss. This guy walks right beside me, pulls his dick out, take a piss, also turns to me and says, "How about them Cowboys?" Fuck the Cowboys.
Oh, damn. I thought, how about this dick?
He might have well said, shit, I don't care.
Check this out.
So yeah, I don't give a fuck about football season. I'm just gonna ride this shit out till it's over with. Super Bowl will kind of catch my attention because it got like a whole bunch of commercials and shit like that. But yeah, otherwise I don't care.
You know what? I used to be like that. I didn't know even how football even worked until I was well into my 20s. Until
Wow.
I played NFL Blitz on like PlayStation 1. I had no idea how football
NFL Blitz
the
taught you how to play
rules.
out of
Yeah.
all games.
Yeah.
NFL Blitz.
Yeah, my brother was all in. He loves football. He watches like those channels and shit. He's so deep into football, but I just didn't give a shit, until I think it was the 2010 Viking seasons when he was living with me. He just got out of jail and he was living with me at the time. And that was like the season when the Vikings had Brett Favre. And so I was just watching it every weekend because he was watching it. And then I got to, okay, I can get this. And so ever since then, I'm not a big football fan, but I'm a casual fan. I'll watch the Vikings,
Okay.
So, but for pretty much most of my life, I had no idea like how to even play it, like how the rules went, or
Pretty much every sport I learned how to play from a video game.
Yeah,
So, Madden, that's how I learned to play football. NBA Live, I learned how to play the NBA rules from there. One of those baseball games, I think King Griffey baseball. No, I take it back. Baseball, I knew. No,
Yeah, I knew baseball. I was on Little
King
League,
Griffey,
and
definitely King Griffey on the 64. I learned how to play. So,
Yeah.
NHL
and I was a Yankees
hockey.
fan. Yeah.
NHL hockey, I learned the rules when I watched the game and watching Mario Lemieux fuck people up. I'm like, I know what's going on.
Yeah.
So shout out to Sega Genesis.
Yeah, pretty much same thing. I did not care about football. Did not ever. Yeah, I had no idea. I was a nerd. I didn't know.
One day we'll grow out of that stage. It's just a phase.
So yeah. So for the past 8 years, has it been? I guess I'm a casual football fan.
And now, to be honest with you, Eli, I gave it a good effort because I claim one team. I claim Atlanta because, like I said, technically I'm from Atlanta. I don't tell people that, but anyway, that's a long story. So I'll claim an Atlanta team, and like I said, Thursday it was the Falcons and the Eagles, right?
That's right. Yeah.
So first half of the first quarter, I watched, and I was like, nah, I can't do this. Just change the channel, man. I said, fuck it.
And I was like, fuck the Eagles because they won. They played here for the Super Bowl. and their fans are assholes. So yeah, I was actually rooting for the Falcons. Because fuck the Eagles.
Yeah, but I think the Falcons still lost though. But oh well.
They did. Yeah, it was lame.
Another reason I didn't watch it. Okay, but like I said, this is not a football podcast. We do have another football podcast called Talking Balls. What's the name of it, Eli?
Is it football or is it just the Titans?
I don't know. One of them. Go listen to that shit. It's something. You figured out yourself, listeners.
Yeah, comic nerds talking about football or about one team of one football team.
Right. So that's gonna sound exciting. And I hate to start the podcast because we moved past that. We actually need to get to the other part of the podcast where we had some passings have. And I'll be honest with you, Eli. 2018 seemed like it's giving 2016 to run for its money.
Yeah.
It's starting to. It's starting to now because yeah, we just had a passing of Burt Reynolds, legendary actor Burt Reynolds of Hollywood. And
one of the biggest movie stars ever. It's
ever of all time.
Yeah.
I mean, I think in 1978, I think he had 4 movies that were released that year, all in the top 10. Like,
Probably.
Who does that?
Yeah.
Nowadays, you can't do that. Unless Marvel released 3-4 movies and I probably not dreams in all of them. That's about it.
With Tom Cruise and all.
Right. So yeah, that's what's going on. And I realized there was a generational gap with Burt Reynolds because the news broke at work, and I was telling people at work, and there was an older coworker that was there, and I broke the news to him that, man, Burt Reynolds died. And he was upset, like, oh man, Burt Reynolds? Man, I can't believe that. Then the younger coworker came up and saw us talking about it, like, oh, what are you guys talking about? Man, Burt Reynolds died. And you saw this glazed look over their face, like, who? I'm like, oh man, that's when you know you feel old right there when you say that.
Was he on Archer once?
Right. Ryan Reynolds' dad? Like, no, nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
He wasn't in Deadpool at all. Sorry. So yeah, and it's a generation gap. And the thing is, Burt Reynolds is like, like a special, celebrity like that. Burt Reynolds changed my life indirectly.
Okay.
Because everybody knows he's the Bandit.
That's right.
Yep, and everybody knows that the car he drove was a 1975, 76
Trans Am, yeah.
Yep, Firebird Trans Am. So he drove a Trans Am in that movie, and my parents, like I guess 84, 85, something like that, also bought a Trans Am. I guess they bought the 84, 85 version of the Firebird Trans Am. Wasn't the same model for that. They honestly,
was it the kit car?
That's what I just say. Now that I look at it, I'm probably more influenced in life by David Hasselhoff and Burt Reynolds, but they both had a large impact on my life. So,
and they were both cool in my book.
And
both those cars were cool in my
right. And to quote the words of Star-Lord, and they both hooked up with hot women and fought robots.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But anyway, the point I was trying to get to that is that they bought a 1985 Trans Am. Apparently I got it, and that was my car through high school, all the way through college, all the way through my, my first job and stuff like that, and rode around with it everywhere. And the car was so iconic because everybody knew that car. They pretty much associate that car with me. When I joined Facebook, if you look at my Facebook page, that is my first Facebook profile, that car.
Are you wearing a cowboy hat?
I was not wearing a cowboy hat. I left it at home that day.
Do you have the Reynolds stash, that porno Reynolds stash?
I can't grow the porno stash, man. I tried. I get all kind of whiskers and stuff, The Tom Selleck stash, So shout out to Burt Reynolds, man. I mean, you just like little stuff that you do in life. You just never know how it's gonna affect somebody else. So. And plus, like I said, remember I told you my favorite show, Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he was never on Dukes of Hazzard, but the point is that show,
And what happened to like Smokey and the Bandit, Cannonball Run, Hooper, Convoy, like all these.
Stroker Ace, exactly.
Stroker Ace, Six Pack. Remember, like back like 70s, 80s, there was like these trucker race car movies. Like that was like a genre,
Well, there's a reason for that. Steve McQueen invented it.
Yeah, it's like whatever happened to them? Besides the Fast and the Furious, but we don't have
I'll tell you what happened. Star Wars.
Yeah, but still, like there was Cannonball Run movies in the 80s after Star Wars, and Stroker Ace was like.
But those movies, the heyday were in the 70s. There were still movies in the 80s, and you think about it, even with Cannonball Run, they were still kind of on the comedy side, the campy side, where like you had movies like Bullet. And you had even like every movie back then had a car chase. Chinatown, all the movies like that, they were taken a lot more seriously, and people went to the movies specifically to see a car chase.
Yeah, basically, because that's what Smokey and the Bandit is.
Right, that's what it was. It's like a big car chase. Right,
half movies a car chase.
Right, and with the evolution of special effects started getting better and better and better, you see less of the car chase and more of that, and it did kind of just die off. So yeah,
I guess because then that movie Hooper was one of my favorites.
Yeah,
where he played the stuntman, and that jump and then there was like the newer because was Jan Michael Vincent. He was like a more modern day stuntman doing all the technical explosions and all that shit was happening, and the old stunts were starting to get phased out in Hollywood, and
Right.
you know, I remember that
Hollywood and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and then they made that jump. I just remember that jump that they did at the end with the rocket car, and I thought that was dope.
Right, kind of like Evel Knievel. So yeah, I mean, like I said, at the time, Burt Reynolds owned Hollywood. Like it was, if Burt Reynolds in a movie, everybody, it was guaranteed money. You know.
Yeah.
But now we live in a decade. Now we live in an era where movie stars don't exist really.
Mm-hmm.
They really don't. You just can't slap somebody's name on a movie and people just go see it. It doesn't happen like that anymore. You got to have some kind of gimmick to get people to go there. They don't see movies for people.
Yeah, they know who motherfuckers are, but they want them to stay one character.
Right.
Like Robert Downey Jr., you know, everyone will go see him play Iron Man, but they don't want, who saw the judge?
I was just about to say that, who saw the judge, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, moving past that. But, yeah, rest in peace to Burt Reynolds. Another passing. And the funny thing was I was actually going to lead this podcast off. I had this whole thing I was going to do with Eli. We talked about it last week. Remember the Eminem album that came out?
Yeah.
Okay, so it was a lot of backlash and repercussion that happened to that album that I was going to get into about that with this whole beef with Machine Gun Kelly and stuff like that, and basically every white rapper out there losing their minds just attacking Eminem at one time. And I was going to have this whole rant, but something happened. That news got completely swept away because 2 days ago, another white rapper actually passed. So, so it was, his name is Mac Miller. I don't know if you're familiar with him. I'm sort of kind of familiar with him. I'm not really too big of a fan of his music. I've heard his music before, but yeah, he's been around before. He's actually one of those rappers, like, you know he's white, right? But when you listen to his music, you don't know he's white. Okay. So you listen to his music, and you just listen to it, you're like, okay. And then when you see him on TV, you're like, oh, okay. That changed everything I just heard of what you just did. You know, kind of like when you, what was I going to say? Hootie and the Blowfish. You know, you find out he was black, you know, just fucked your whole head up, you know. And so, rest in peace, Mac Miller. I don't really have too much to talk about that.
Yeah, I was really never a fan either, but hey, you know, good journey to him too.
Yeah. Moving past that, can we talk about moving to the next part of the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about it. So the next part of the podcast, for those that have been longtime listeners of ours, that know we're going to talk about the box office numbers, and we're going to get down to it, to the nitty-gritty of it. And like I said, September is still a shit month, but don't worry. When we get through September, October is going to be interesting. So, Eli, give it to me. What's number one?
Was it The Nun?
It was The Nun. By a good margin. Like a good margin. Like they just ran away with it. All right.
Yeah, I heard it was like huge.
All right. Eli, give it to me. What is this movie?
It's a horror movie.
It's not a bit. I really don't know.
Yeah, it's a horror movie. So just those movies do well. Usually they got a niche market. But was it the fourth or fifth film in the Conjuring universe?
Are you serious? So it's in that whole thing? Okay.
Yeah, the Conjuring universe, cinematic universe. It's how many movies is it now? There's 2 Conjurings. There's 2 Annabelles, and this would be the 5th one. Yeah. So this is the fifth movie. So they're 5 movies deep into this shared universe.
Wow,
cinematic universe.
Paying attention, they making all this money. So yeah.
I've actually seen them all. My kids are big.
Weird about it, like people are probably seeing the movie because they're in this cinematic universe.
Yeah,
I gotta keep up with the stories. You watch it.
Yeah, my kid's a big fan of them. I'm not a big supernatural horror fan. I'm not into ghosts and haunted houses. I just find them boring. But I must say, the Conjuring movies aren't that bad. They're directed by James Wan, who has been doing good things lately. He's got he did one of the Fast and Furious. He's got Aquaman coming up. So he did a good job on the Conjuring movies and made them pretty watchable, even though I'm not a fan of the genre. Mm-hmm. I thought they were pretty still well made.
Wait, was it James Wan or Justin Lin?
James Wan.
Confused. That's right, because Justin Lin.
Yeah.
Damn, that sounds racist. I mean, because they both did Fast and the Furious. I mean, don't get mad at me. You know, I can't remember which one did what. You know.
I think Justin Lin. James Wan's doing Aquaman.
Oh, damn! I really am a racist. Oh shit.
Yeah, Justin Lin did. Better Luck Tomorrow and
James Bond?
he's done. No, that was that. That was that Asian movie. It was like Crazy Rich Asians, but back in the 90s.
Kind of like Joy Luck Club and stuff. Okay.
Yeah, it was like a bunch of like teenagers, a bunch of Asian teenagers in high school doing grimy shit, So
Okay.
yeah, good movie, pretty good movie.
I guess. He started Saw. One of them. Which one started Saw?
James Wan. That's
Okay.
James Wan.
Okay,
Yeah.
now I know the difference. Okay.
Yeah.
And you sure Justin Lin's not doing Aquaman?
No, that's James Wan.
I'm gonna look this up, man, because I honestly I feel like a huge racist if I got.
Yeah,
this
you
wrong.
better get it right, man, on your comic book podcast.
Right. We'll figure it out at the end. We'll do a poll at the end. Am I right or am I racist? One or the other. Number two. I'll tell you. Fuck it. You only get. Number two is Crazy Rich Asians, of course. Make a huge amount of money. They've already greenlit a sequel. There's like a huge bunch of these novels, so they can keep making these movies. You got a franchise on your hands right now. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did not know it was a book. I didn't.
Yeah, there's like a bunch of them, like a whole series. So yeah. Number three, we have Peppermint. So yeah.
Oh yeah. You know what? I kind of want to see that.
I kind of want to see that too. Yeah, I mean the Capital One girl looks like she's doing pretty good in that movie.
Yeah, fucking the female Death Wish.
Yeah, I mean most people. I guess Jennifer Garner is so removed from because remember in last decade she was a huge deal.
Yeah.
I mean, Alias,
Elektra. She was the first Elektra.
Okay, now you're explaining why she's not anymore. I was just about to say, what happened to Jennifer Garner? You just brought up Elektra, like, oh, that's what happened. Okay, that's why she's stuck doing Capital One commercials all day and shit. Alias, because I think, remember, like Jessica Jones, right? They were gonna do a Jessica Jones story, like on ABC, like a decade ago, and she was gonna play her at first, Then decided to do the whole Alias thing and whatever. But yeah, but I want to see her make
Alias separate from the separate Marvel, yeah. Because I was confused about that too. So.
Right, because in the comics, the comic is called Alias. It's not called Jessica Jones. It's called Alias. Yeah. But she played in Alias. Super confusing. Fuck it. My head's hurting. Move past that. Number 4, your movie, The Meg. The shark movie.
Yeah.
Number 5, Searching, still hanging in there. They made the budget. They made that movie off like $50, and it's making all this money. So, number 6, Mission Impossible Fallout. Let me look at Mission Impossible. See what it is.
What number? 5?
Still hanging in there. Yep. So Mission Impossible Fallout is at $726 million. Okay, I'm relieved, Eli. I'm gonna tell you why I'm relieved. Mm-hmm. Because I thought for a second. Remember we had this news last week about Ant-Man and Wasp doing all this money in China.
Yeah.
And I thought for a second that please don't tell me Ant-Man and Wasp beat Mission Impossible Fallout at the movie. That I would be done. I would boycott something or somebody because there's no way Ant-Man and the Wasp should be even close to making the same money Mission Impossible Fallout made. Like just another random ass Marvel movie versus one of the movies that had some of the best stunts in the last 10 years. Like no. Moving past that, what else we got? Disney, Christopher Robin. Number 8, Operation Finale. The fuck?
Oh, that's the hunting Nazis movie. It's supposed to be good. Yeah.
You told me that last week. Why am I forgetting?
I did, man.
I don't know.
Yeah, you're paying attention. You're lucky I'm not your girlfriend, dude.
You didn't remember this.
I told you that last week. How many? You don't listen to me.
Right. Well, I would have just lied and said I did. No, I heard it. I know what you're saying. Not really. Number 9, we have Alpha, the dog movie, and number 10, Black Klansman. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm probably gonna see that next week.
Black Klansman?
Yeah, I know you guys did a whole podcast about it.
I didn't see it yet, but Anthony's seen it a couple times. He was trying to get me to go. He wanted to see it again and wanted me to go with them, but I was doing shit. So.
Yeah, didn't you guys do a review on it?
He did a review. I let him talk about it. So he reviewed.
I was gonna listen to the podcast. I got tired of doing stuff. I'm gonna get caught up on everybody's podcast. Yours, Comic Cast, This Geeks and Comics, Talking Vows. What the fuck? I'm just curious to hear what that is. Yeah, and that's all. And yeah, so that's the box office numbers right now. Still kind of whatever, but don't worry. The closer we get to October, the more interest it's gonna get because don't remember we have Venom coming.
Oh, that's right. And hey, fucking Predator comes out next week or the week after?
Oh, really?
One of these days. Yeah, the new Predator movie is coming out. That's like my next movie I'm seeing.
Okay, cool. We got to check that out. So, yeah. So, like I said, we can move on past that and we can talk about let's talk about Netflix. Okay.
Okay.
Well, one thing I want to give you guys an announcement that one movie did hit Netflix that I wasn't expecting to hit, and that is Black Panther. So, if you haven't seen it yet, the last 3 of you that haven't seen the movie, go watch it because it made like all the money in the world, at least in America. Another thing on Netflix, another movie has been released, and I probably should say this for the video game news, but fuck it, I'm going to just start now because I got other shit to talk about in video game news. But we can talk about Witcher. And Eli, how familiar are you with Witcher?
I know it's a video game about swords and dragons and shit.
And you are correct.
Yeah.
Just like every other 50 million video games that have the same. But the thing is, they have a leading actor in the movie, in the show, and the actor has been cast as Henry Cavill.
Ooh.
Yeah, so he landed it. And the funny thing about it is that Henry Cavill has been campaigning to play the role. And
That's
the people that have been doing this show have been campaigning for Henry Cavill to do it. So yeah, he landed it, and he's going to do the role. So most people don't know this about Henry Cavill, but he's actually like a huge gamer.
Oh, no shit.
Matter of fact, they said when Zack Snyder called him, tell him that he got the role of Superman, he missed the call because he was playing World of Warcraft.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so left it on voicemail. Another thing, remember the sad Ben Affleck meme, right?
Yeah.
And most people misconstrue where that meme came from. They thinking because somebody asked him about BVS and he just got depressed and just wanted to leave, some shit like that. Actually, what was going on is that the interviewer asked Henry Cavill about a video game called Demon Souls. And Henry Cavill wouldn't shut the fuck up about it. That's when you saw Ben Affleck's eyes start glazing over. Because he wanted him to shut the fuck up about it, but it was too late then. They just mean the shit out of him. That was it. So, yeah.
You know who Henry Cavill, like when I see those pictures of The Witcher and then Henry Cavill's picture next to it, he would play like a snake from Metal Gear Solid. I think he kind of, if you give him put him in a beard and shit, like
I can't say he's too large, you know, too muscular.
Snake or
no, Henry Cavill. Because you got to be like stealthy, you know, like that. I can't see him playing that. I mean, the perfect person, of course, would be Kurt Russell from 1983. You know, he can't do that. You know?
He's old as hell.
He's old as hell now, but he would have been the perfect Snake. You know, but so Eli, what do you think? Does that mean Superman's dead? Like Man of Steel 2 is just dead?
Oh shit! I forgot about it. Sure, why not?
Yeah, just dead. Which I've been saying for the longest. Like he's looking for work now. He just can't sit around and just wait for a script to even be, you know, written, which hasn't been yet. So yeah, he's looking for the work now. He's on Netflix. Probably gonna be awesome. I've played Witcher for a little while. Like I said, it's another dragon and dungeon and swords thing.
Is it like a like shit like Skyrim and
it's kind of like that. Yeah.
I just ain't got time for all that shit.
It's like a 200-hour game where you gotta walk around and
I can't do that shit.
One of these days I'm gonna
give me a mission. Let me just fucking kill shit and be done. You know,
right?
That's you know.
That's the thing. But there's been a controversy also that's come up from Netflix. Like I said, well, from the Witcher show, because not only has Henry Cavill been cast, but the other they put out a casting call for a character called Ciri. And now the casting call, they said it has to be is what they call Bane. Now, I'm going to pull up what Bane means right now.
Bane.
Bane. Not Bane. Like, oh, yes, I wonder what... No, not that. Bane. B-A-M-E. Oh. I'll tell you just a second. I'm trying to pull the numbers up.
And while you're talking... by the way, Justin Lin, he directed like almost all the fucking Fast and Furious movies since Tokyo Drift.
What? James Wan did one of them.
Yeah, James Wan did one of them, but Justin Lin did a bunch, and Star Trek Beyond.
He did that.
And then he directed some of the Community episodes, the paintball episodes.
My favorite one, the one Modern Warfare. That's my favorite one.
Yeah, he directed that.
I thought that was the Russos, but it was actually Justin Lin.
Yeah. So yeah, Justin Lin's been his next movie's supposed to be Hot Wheels, it says.
Okay.
There's going to be a Hot Wheels movie.
Okay,
You
I
know?
guess. Should we talk about the Michael Bay secret project going on? Probably not.
Sure. Well, if the rumor, it's a rumor.
The rumor is that he's supposed to be working on a secret Thundercat movie, and
Hmm.
everybody's losing their mind, like, "Oh, wow, we're getting a Thundercat movie!" Like every
It'd be
other
like
'80s
there's
cartoon movie hadn't sucked so far.
and there's going to be like two Thundercats in the movie for like 30 seconds, and the rest is going to be like Shia LaBeouf running away from shit blown up.
Right, trying to get laid or some shit, you know. So I still don't understand why people get hype over this shit or excited over this shit. Don't look. I've watched those cartoons over again. All those '80s cartoons, they sucked. They're not very good. They're very repetitive. The animation was terrible. The storylines was terrible. And at the end of the day, they were just 30-minute 30-minute commercials for you to buy their toys. That's all they were made for. So, but
Yeah.
people get excited for the shit. You know what those cartoons are? They were our Teen Titans Go. That's what they were.
I suppose.
So, but yeah, you guys get hyped for a Thundercats cartoon when Michael Bay breaks your heart again because you never learned your fucking lesson. You didn't learn your fucking lesson the first 5 times he did it,
Yeah, he needs a new franchise to fuck
except
up.
for Battleship. Battleship, we give him a pass on. Wait, he
I
didn't
thought that
do
was Peter
Battleship.
Berg.
That was Peter Berg. I'm
That
sorry.
was
I'm
Peter
not
Berg.
giving. Right, I'm giving Michael Bay no credit for that shit. That was Peter Berg. That's why Battleship worked. What are we talking about? Yeah, Bane.
Bane. Now what's Bane?
Oh yes, I was wondering. Yeah, okay. So Bane means black, Asian, and minority ethnic. So what Bane means is that they're not looking for a white woman.
Okay.
Yeah, even though in
So-
the video game Siri is a white woman or a white boy or a white
And
something.
and these are supposed to be like Vikings and shit.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Here's one thing I noticed about The Witcher, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. I'm just gonna give you a hot take, and I don't mean any offense when I say this. It's the whitest video game I've ever played. You know, so I understand some people like it, but I understand when I play the game, I was like, okay, this is like deep in European-ness. This is what you
Okay.
like, the whole thing, and that's cool if that's what you like. Then I understand some people are getting pissed because they're trying to inject diversity into The Witcher when the video game it's as white as you can see. It's not a tan face in sight on that video game. That's what it is. And honestly, that's how it should be. Like,
Okay.
what if you watched Black Panther and you was in Wakanda and some Mexican dude just walked out of nowhere?
I heard fucking people got pissed just because Everett Ross was in the fucking movie.
Oh yeah, I heard people in the theater like, what the fuck he doing here? Like,
The fuck?
Like-
Thought this was Black Panther.
you're right. I'm like, pick up a fucking comic. He's in the comic. They think they added Everett Ross for diversity reasons.
Yeah.
So yeah, but that's the thing about that one. So people are getting excited about people getting pissed off about Siri being not white, and I'll be honest with you, I'm on their side. I think Witcher should be just as white as it is in the video game. Just
Yeah.
leave it alone, man.
I mean,
And plus
like I said,
that might take you out of it. I remember. Okay, have you played Resident Evil 5?
Resident Evil 5. Maybe. I don't know which one.
Okay.
I've lost track.
Okay, I know it's
The one in
shit.
Africa? You mean the one in Africa?
The one in
Yeah,
Africa.
yeah.
Okay, so in E3 when they showed the trailer, what they had was that this big beefy white dude, Chris, right? And the whole game was just said shooting a whole bunch of zombified black people. And it freaked
Yeah.
everybody the fuck out, like, oh, okay, this shit doesn't look right. So when the actual game came out, he's in Africa, right? So you see black people, zombified black people, all of a sudden you see like zombified Asian people and zombified Mexican people. You're like, isn't this Africa? What the fuck are they doing here?
South Africa.
It's,
You're in Jaybird.
I guess, man. So they're like, we're gonna turn down for diversity reasons or the tone be PC. But at the same time, they still have zombified spear chuckers, in a certain area with Africa. So I'm like, you're not really helping your situation. So some shit just, if you do stuff like that, sometimes they can take you out of the experience.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've said this before. Cultural appropriation goes both ways. If you're going to get pissed off over a colored person's role being whitewashed, then hey, this is, like I said, Thor. Thor is basically the Viking Jesus, but he's nothing like. You know what I'm saying?
Now, to be honest with you, I can let Thor slide, when you got Black Heimdall and the Black Valkyrie, stuff like that, because it's in space.
Yeah, it's a fictionalized version of their mythology, and
right.
But like I said, if we're gonna get pissed off over our culture being appropriated, well, if this is culturally relevant to the story in the game, then yeah, we shouldn't change theirs either. So I think it goes both ways. So we got to, if we want to respect, if we want our culture to be respected, we got to give it back. So that's what I say.
Right.
So I don't really give a shit. I never played the game, so I don't really care. But if it's relevant to the story, then and it shouldn't be there just for diversity reasons and it's because that's what's into it. Because people might bitch about, hey, there's no black people in Viking country.
Right. Like, let it go, man. It's okay.
Yeah.
I promise you, Hollywood, we understand. We get it. You don't have to cater to us and stuff like that. We're not going to boycott Witcher because there's nothing. Well, some idiot's going to do it. Why aren't there any black people in Witcher?
Yeah, there's always people who are going to complain and make a bunch of noise, but fuck them.
Yeah, sometimes you got to ignore them, stuff like that. Anyway, have we wasted enough time with filler, and can we get back to the podcast?
Yeah.
Because I don't give a shit about Witcher one way or another. I don't make everybody black. I really don't give a shit.
This is going to be a movie that I probably won't even watch.
Right. Anyway, let's get back on topic. Let's talk about some shit we should have talked about earlier. Let's talk about Captain Marvel.
Oh, yeah. I forgot all about that shit.
And how did you forget about Captain Marvel when she broke the internet?
I know, man.
Supposedly. Because she came out someday, which I completely forgot about, and they did back and forth on Twitter with Entertainment Weekly. Let's break the internet. And okay, let's do it. And you're thinking it's going to be like some huge trailer or something like that, or, something like that. Nope. There's a bunch of pictures. That's all. It was like, oh, that's it? Okay. And so they showed pictures of her, and okay, Eli, I'm gonna ask you, what did you think about Brie Larson in full costume as Captain America? Marvel, what the fuck she is? Rogue, I don't give a shit.
I thought she was fine. I was cool with it.
Yeah,
I had no problems. I had no problems.
I had no problems. I don't see how anybody can have a problem. I mean, she looks exactly like I expected Brie Larson to look as Captain Marvel. So that's why it didn't really just blow me away. I was like, okay, she looks like she's supposed to look. Okay.
Yeah.
Especially since they was, Boss Logic dudes have all these leaked footage and Photoshop footage, stuff like that. She looks like that.
Yeah. I thought it was fine.
Yeah. Just running through some other pictures that I saw in there. Okay. We also got the Skrulls. First picture of the live action Skrulls. Like I said, I did a little review on this on Outright Geekery. They may have put it up, they may have not put it up. I don't know. But like I said, I talked about the Skrulls, and I don't know if it's going to be a whole army of Skrulls, because the picture I saw, it was just 4 Skrulls, and it may just be 4 Skrulls just fucking up everything. And they confirmed, they gave a little backstory on the Skrulls. One of the Skrulls is going to infiltrate S.H.I.E.L.D. He's going to be like a high-ranking S.H.I.E.L.D. officer. Remember the bad guy from Rogue One?
Yeah.
Him.
Yeah.
He's the bad guy and everything. So like I said, what else we got? We got a young Ronin. We got the Kree army, they call them. They got the Kree version of the Avengers. I can't remember the name. I read them in the comic. Completely forgot about it. I think they're the Star Force or some bullshit. What else we got? Young Sam Jackson.
Oh yeah, with 2 eyes.
With 2 eyes. Now, he will not lose his eye in this movie. He's not supposed to. Because, they showed him years later when he was talking to Robert Redford, he still had his eye. So if that's going to happen, it's not supposed to happen in this movie. Unless, Marvel fucks with continuity. But no, they're usually not that bad. They're not DC. They usually keep up with stuff like that. So, the one thing that I was worried about was because they announced that somebody was going to be Monica Rambeau in the movie. Or they just announced that Carol Danvers was going to have a black best friend. I was like, oh man, they're going to turn Monica Rambeau into the black sidekick like Falcon and War Machine, stuff like that. But actually, I was wrong, Eli.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So Monica Rambeau is not her black best friend. Actually, what's her name? Maria Rambeau is her black best friend, which I'm totally fine with.
Okay.
Yeah, because they said, of course, this is based in the 90s. It's like, 20 years ago, something like that. And they said that Maria Rambeau is a single mother Air Force pilot that has a young daughter. So then, it doesn't take Scooby-Doo to figure it out. Okay, the young daughter must be Monica Rambeau. So apparently when Captain Marvel, flies off into space and comes back, Infinity War, Monica will be a full-grown adult by then. And then you can have Spectrum and Photon and whoever else the fuck gonna be in there. So
cool.
Pretty cool. It's one thing that has me worried about this movie, though, Eli.
Oh, yeah?
I feel like Marvel is throwing so much shit in there. It's almost like you're forgetting that Captain Marvel is in this movie. Like,
okay.
you got Skrulls, you got Project Pegasus, you got the Kree, you got the whole war, you got Secret Invasion, you got Young Shield, you got Coulson. Who knows whatever the fuck might pop up in this shit. You're like, okay, where's Captain Marvel on this shit? It's almost like Marvel doesn't believe in Captain Marvel. That makes sense.
Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, because I'm going to tell you the truth, I'm not very familiar with Captain Marvel's backstory.
Yeah.
I'm I've said this before. I was never into Cosmic Marvel.
Yeah.
I don't really know what the fuck was going on in space other than whatever the Fantastic Four was doing. That was about the extent of it, and maybe some Silver Surfer. But I never really got into the whole cosmic side of Marvel. So I'm not very familiar. I can't tell you about the Kree Skrull War or any of that shit. I don't know any of the details of that. And then just Captain Marvel just popped up in some of the books I read, and she was basically a Superman.
Basically.
she was Supergirl. And so that's about all I know. I knew she was from space, but so I don't know any of these details. So, and judging by that, I can understand why, Marvel's going to cram all this shit in there to try to appease, hook those people to get in those seats again,
right, to make you feel like you have to watch this movie instead of just saying, hey, because they can't sell it on being a female superhero movie. You can't sell it. That doesn't fly anymore because Wonder Woman already did that.
Yeah, and everybody knew who Wonder Woman was. I mean, Wonder Woman, she's an icon, so just the familiarity of the character got people in the seats. Only comic book nerds know who Captain Marvel is.
Right. And even less even care.
Yeah, I still get questions, so at the end of Infinity War, that thing that Nick Fury dropped, what was that?
Right.
And they're like, that was Captain Marvel's symbol. Oh, yeah, who's that? She's like this. She's like Supergirl. That's all I can tell you.
Right.
And she's from space. And really? What the? I'm like, I don't really know. I mean,
Right. And then you get confused. Captain Marvel, isn't that the guy that fought Superman? Like, no, that's
isn't that Shazam? Like,
right. And it's even more confusing. You like, oh, fuck, man.
Yeah.
So for those who, I know a lot of you don't know who the fuck Captain Marvel is, so I'm just going to make it completely simple who she is.
Yeah.
You all know who Rogue is, right? Rogue is the one who got her powers. Done. That's all you need to know. So let's leave it at that. Oh, yeah. Moving past that, can we move to the video game section now?
Oh yeah, you've been waiting for this.
I've been waiting for this. I'm waiting for this all fucking day.
Can I just go take a shit real quick?
Yeah, man. Go like you always do, man. Go smoke a cigarette while I just rant for a while. This is like your break time every part of the podcast. So yeah, like Eli, you know what I've been doing all weekend.
Yeah.
I've been playing fucking Spider-Man because I know I was supposed to watch Iron Fist. We were supposed to get you like this huge Iron Fist blowout. We were supposed to talk about it for 2 hours. Fuck Iron Fist. I don't care about that shit.
I was so glad when you said, no, I'm not watching Iron Fist. I'm like,
while you were telling me that, I was playing Spider-Man.
Yeah. I'm like, do we have to watch Iron Fist this weekend? You're like, no, I'm playing Spider-Man. Cool, because I don't want to watch it.
I'm like, look, here's the thing. If Ryan paid us more, or any at all, then we would be obligated to, review Iron Fist for you guys. But at the same time, like I said, the older I get, the less I give a shit about shit I don't give a shit about. Iron Fist is on that list. So I'm like, why am I going to sit there and surf through Iron Fist when I can be doing shit that I want to do? Like playing Spider-Man. So, and that's what the fuck I did. Now, let's dig into it and just talk about actually what Spider-Man is. And Eli, holy fuck, this game is awesome.
Okay.
I've been playing it. It makes you feel like you're Spider-Man. You're doing the swing and stuff like that. It actually has a really awesome story in it. They don't follow they follow the comic book story, but you know, it kind of plays with the origin itself. You know,
Okay.
so they change up the stuff. In this story, Spider-Man got his power when he was 15. He's been Spider-Man for 8 years, so right now he's 23. And the story starts off with you fighting Kingpin. Like, that's the very first boss fight in there. Kingpin is a fucking monster. You know, breaking tables and throwing them at you and shit and punching you and you kill you in 3 hits and stuff. So you got to dodge and weave and swing and all the stuff like that. And then the more you get into the game, you know, the more powers and upgrade powers that Spider-Man gets and the more costumes he gets. So you can swing faster. You can throw, you know, you can like do it. Like Marvel's Capcom, right? He has the Marvel vs. Capcom combos in the game.
Oh, yeah?
I'm sitting there loving that shit. I'm like, oh, that's fucking awesome. You know, you can air combo a guy, kick him, swing at him, then snatch another guy up with the web, grab him, it's quick and kick. I'm like, fuck, so much shit. You can run up walls, swing on walls. Fuck, I want to play the game right now, man. Fuck this podcast. But yeah, like I said, going play. And then there's other little stuff in there also. There's like the city is just riddled with like Easter eggs, not just from New York because you're in New York, so you got like the Rockefeller Center and you got the Brooklyn Bridge, stuff like that, but it's also got little Marvel Easter eggs in there, stuff like that. So it's got the Avengers Towers in there.
I was about to say, is the Baxter Building there?
The Baxter Building is not there. They're not legally obligated to have the Baxter Building.
Oh, damn it. I thought, what the fuck, Disney? I thought they bought all that shit. What the hell?
They didn't have, wait for the DLC. It'll be in there. You have to pay, you know, $20 to get the Baxter Building. So. So they got the Avengers Tower, they have Doctor Strange Sanctum Sanctorum, and they're in the place they're supposed to be at, because you know the Sanctum Sanctorum is supposed to be in 110 Bleecker Street in Greenwich Village.
Oh, yeah.
That's where it's located, in that exact location.
Okay.
Jessica Jones' private investigation firm is in the game.
Oh, sweet. No shit.
You find stuff like that. Daredevil's, you know, attorney at law, Foggy and Nelson, attorney at law, that's in the game.
Cool.
You know. Oh, what else?
Cypress Hill Cemetery.
That's where Ghost Rider was. I don't think so. I haven't heard any. And if it is, and I break the news, oh, I'm telling everybody. So I'm gonna find.
Be the first one. Be the first one to find that shit.
Because I found Rucker Park.
Okay.
Yeah, but there's no Easter egg or no trophy for finding it. It's just like I was like swinging around like, oh fuck, I'm in Harlem. Oh shit, okay. So I'm just swinging around and shit like that. The Wakandan embassy is in there. You know, like you walk up to it and you see like Wakanda, blah, 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 whatever like that. So I'm like, okay, that's pretty fucking cool. You know, got Wakanda flag, stuff like that. So all this stuff is in the game, so you walk around and stuff like that, and you just see all this stuff. Plus you're fighting and you're swinging, and they got cool-ass boss fights, and the graphics are awesome. And, you know, you got Mary Jane, and you got Aunt May. You know, they got the relationships like that, and it's just, man. Now, if there's any negatives, and I'm not going to say it's a negative. I'll just say this. The game is heavily borrowing from Batman Arkham Knight, like from the Arkham series. Like
okay, that's what I was about to say. Where you upgrade your suits and your moves and that game engine. Because that's how the Mad Max game was.
Oh, really?
No,
and honestly, it's a lot of games that ripped off the Arkham game.
Yeah.
So, and Spider-Man is a wholesale ripoff of that combat system.
Okay.
I mean, but is that a bad thing? Because the Arkham system is a awesome system.
Yeah, that's
so. And the thing is, like Spider-Man moves differently from Batman. Like Batman, you know, all brutal and stuff like that, and you know, counters and combos. But when you say that counter and combo button with Spider-Man, he doesn't just dodge and shit like that. He flips, you know, backward flips and stuff like that, and he dodges and Spider Sense flying off his head and stuff like that. So you know, it makes sense. You know.
Yeah.
So I thought it was pretty cool. Like I said, I haven't beaten the game. I've barely even scratched the surface of this game, honestly, because I've just been swinging around so much, just finding shit. I haven't actually finished the story. So I'm going to get around to finish the story. Hopefully by next week, I'll finish that. But actually, Ryan has me on duty. I got to review another game. So I actually have work to do instead of just playing Spider-Man all day. So I'm trying to juggle time to get all that taken care of. Yeah, but like I said, if you haven't played this game, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why'd you buy an Xbox? I don't get that. There's nothing on there. You got Spider-Man, you got God of War, you got all this other bullshit. Go and get it. But like I say, I'm not gonna rate it right now. I'll probably rate it next week after I beat it and give you more details of the story and actually maybe review the story or something like that. So yeah.
All right. Cool.
Can we pass that?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hurry up and get this shit over with so I can get back to the game. So now let's move actually to the bread and butter of the podcast. We can talk about comic books. We review comic books that came out this week. And Eli, we're gonna switch up this time because you read more books than I did. So I'm gonna let you give you the honor of going first.
Okay. What are you doing again? Oh, okay. I guess I'll do. Let's see. First off, top. Okay, Immortal Hulk #5.
Awesome.
Still continues to be dope. We learn. Okay, so last time, Sasquatch, Langowski, whatever his name is, Walter Langowski, was doing an interview with McGee. I forget her name. The journalist. Yeah, she's doing this investigative report on the return of Bruce Banner because he's been dead. So she teams up with Sasquatch, who starts Sasquatching out in a hospital, and then in pops Bruce Banner, who's been tracking gamma radiation, and he tracked gamma to the hospital, and just in time for Sasquatch to rage out, and there begins the fight. That's where we pick up with this issue, where it's basically the Hulk versus Sasquatch, and they beat the shit out of each other. They bust up the fucking hospital, and then we learn that Walter Langowski was losing control of his monster, of his beast within. And it turns out there's a big reveal, spoilers, that somehow the ghost of Bruce Banner's father got into Sasquatch. And that's making Sasquatch lose control. And for those who don't know, Bruce Banner's dad is a dick, an abusive asshole.
Right.
And so there's this cool moment where the Hulk is basically facing off with the source of a lot of his pain and tragedy, which was really cool to see. And then something really awesome happened. To defeat Sasquatch, the Hulk absorbed all the gamma radiation out of Walter. So he
can do that, yeah.
Yeah, so he took all the gamma radiation out of Walter, and Walter turns back into Walter, And that's pretty much how the book ends, but we also know that since he took the monster out of Walter, Bruce Banner's father is now inside of the Hulk now. So that's where the book ends. So, like I said, this book continues to be awesome. It's going back to the horror roots of the Hulk, the old monster movie stories lines, and I'm digging it. So I give this a 4 out of 5. I'm just loving this book right now. So
okay, let me talk about Hulk's dad for a second. Like, was it Robert Banner? They said his name was Robert
Brian.
Banner?
Is it Brian Banner?
Something. Yeah. Like I said, super asshole in the comics.
Oh yeah, he threw Bruce Banner when he was a baby. He was like beating him up as a baby.
Yeah, like he's like the most assholest person you can find in a comic. But yeah, the whole thing about whatever his name is, Robert Banner, Brian Banner, something like that. The thing is that, like I said, since he abused Bruce as a baby and abused his mom, and I'm pretty sure he killed his mom. But the thing is that, and he killed his mom when he was 4 years old. So Bruce never actually dealt with the emotion of his mom dying.
Yeah.
So what happened is that's what the Hulk is. The Hulk is the 4-year-old manifestation of himself dealing with his mom dying.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, so
I can dig that.
Yeah, so it's all story. Like I said, it's Peter David run back in the 90s, stuff like that. He hates his father.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think he actually had like a manifestation of his father back in the 90s, and whenever his father actually popped up, he instantly turned back normal again. Like Hulk, like even the Hulks were scared of the manifestation of his father.
There's actually a moment in the book where that happens, where like, the Hulk is, talking to the father,
right?
And then the Hulk just finally realizes, you know what? You're Bruce Banner's. You're Banner's fucking pain. I'm the Hulk. You scare him. I'm not Bruce, I'm not Banner. I'm not puny Banner, motherfucker. So you got no power over me.
Okay, because in the comics, in the '90s, he was scared. He was just as scared of his father as Bruce was.
Yeah.
So,
No, but this is a smarter Hulk. This is a more intelligent Hulk we're dealing with.
that makes sense because this Hulk was like super dumb and shit like that, and he'd actually start crying whenever the dad start coming around. So, yeah, my turn now.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see what we got. We got Justice League number 7. Okay. So, like I said, I think this is the conclusion of the totality of the whole arc and stuff like that. And I'm gonna try to break this book down as much as I can because Scott Snyder is peak Scott Snyder in this book. So let's go to it. So basically, it actually starts off in the past, like BC, like a long time ago. And you see Vandal Savage there. Vandal Savage is leading his tribe, to war. Because, Scott Snyder, being Scott Snyder, has 3 tribes of man. You have the tribe of the wolf, which Vandal Savage leads, tribe of the bat, and the tribe of the bird. So the wolf tribe is just fucking everybody up. And he's looked at like the savior, stuff like that. And Vandal Savage looks in the sky and he sees the totality going because the totality is so massive, it actually breaks time and space. So even though it's going in present time, Vandal Savage can see it. And when it sees it, a piece of the totality drops off, and that's the fragment that gives him his immortality. And when he touches that immortality and he touches that fragment and becomes immortal, something changes in him where he's no longer the savior of humanity and he just wants to rule and conquer humanity because the totality has shown him something about humanity that he never known about and he can't go back to it. So that's what happened in the past. So now in the present day, you have Lex Luthor fighting Hawkgirl even though he thought it killed her, and he's trying to use his doorknob to stop her and shit like that, using the master like that. Does not work at all whatsoever in there. So she just fucks Lex Luthor up and there's nothing Lex Luthor can do. So she knocks him out. And she's trying to go to totality. She's trying to enter the totality herself, but Lex Luthor is still trying to stop her, and they're fighting. While they're doing it, John Stewart is still going around, trying to power up the Earth as a White Lantern before Umbrax, and I know I'm throwing a whole lot of words. I'm trying to combine this shit. Umbrax, the ultraviolet Green Lantern planet, is about to attack Earth. And while John Stewart is trying to power up the White Lantern Earth, Sinestro stops him out of nowhere. Stops him cold and tells him, John Stewart, you are a dumbass. You didn't do anything. You didn't save anybody. And matter of fact, you probably just automatically guaranteed that you just killed everybody on the planet. Because Umbrax was just going to actually absorb Earth. Because Earth is just this piece of shit planet that's just full of darkness, full of sadness. And Umbrax doing it in place, but that's what it is. It embraces darkness, sadness. But since you surrounded with the White Lantern energy, Umbrax looked at Earth as a threat. So Umbrax is about to destroy this planet. Because of you, John Stewart. And John Stewart like, no, you won't stop Earth and I'll stop you. And they fight some more shit like that. So while they're fighting, and Hawkgirl's fighting Lex Luthor, we're in an undersea Legion of Doom base that Flash, Aquaman, and Wonder Woman are in. But they're being attacked by the other Legion of Doom, by Black Manta in his ship, and he's shooting at the underwater place. Now the thing is, they're trying to protect Flash because Flash has the power of the Steel Force. If he can access the Steel Force 100%, he actually send the Umbrax back to where it came from. But before he can do that, he's got to, concentrate his mind and move his Steel Force, and he has a hard time doing it because he's the fastest man alive. He doesn't know how to be steel. So while they're doing that, Aquaman is telling Wonder Woman, look, if they hit us one more time, we're done. They're going to flood this whole place, and I'll be okay, but you two are going to die because y'all can't breathe underwater. And Wonder Woman, and plus, I can't stop Black Manta outside because this wall is so thick. I can't talk to the fish. My fish powers are gone. And Wonder Woman like, don't worry about that, Arthur. Break through the wall right there and just escape. You're like, but I can't leave y'all. And like Wonder Woman like, don't worry about me. You just leave and just do what you want to do. So Aquaman breaks through the wall, swims off, past Black Man and stuff like that. And while the water gets ready to flush it into the underwater base, Wonder Woman takes the biggest item she could find and clogs it up, just in time for it to stop. And she's telling Barry, hurry the fuck up. They keep coming for us. And Black Manta's like, okay, I got 5 more seconds to refuel my rocket, and then they're going to blow up that fucking base, and then we'll be done with the Justice League. And on the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, right when he counts down, before he can do that, 2 huge giant sharks come out of nowhere and tries to eat Black Manta's ship, and with Aquaman riding the top of it, So they run off, try not to get eaten. And Flash is able to access the Steel Force. When he's able to access the Steel Force, he sends Umbrax back. and that's it. And yeah, so the Justice League goes back. Lex Luthor finds out he's been beaten. Hawkgirl actually gets her hands on the totality, so she grabs him. When she realizes that, Lex Luthor get the fuck out of there. He goes back to the Legion of Doom base, tells everybody to retreat, so no matter what fight they had, whether they win or losing, they retreat back to the Legion of Doom base. While they're back there, the Justice League is back at their base, and they're looking at totality, and they're trying to wonder, whether or not they should use this power. What if they find out some stuff about the totality they don't even know about? And the thing is, Flash, actually, when he dug into the Steel Force, he uncovered the secrets of the universe, and he's scared to tell the rest of the teammates what he found because he's scared of what he saw. And while they're debating on what to do with the totality, because they have to use totality to fix the multiverse, Wonder Woman and Aquaman in the back room discussing on why Cheetah and Black Manta are teaming up, and they're kind of like flirting with each other, back and forth, like little wink stuff like that. But before they can go further, see what's going on with that, somebody actually teleports into the Justice League, even though they've made every single precaution to stop people from doing that. And they look on the ground, it's this bleeding dude called Starman. Starman is this old Golden Age superhero with the stats like that. He's telling you, look, every question you have, I can answer for you right now. But the thing is, if you find out what's going on, 3 of the Justice League members are gonna die. And then while they're doing that, we cut back to Lex Luthor and the Legion of Doom, and Lex Luthor just realized, okay, the Justice League beat me. I have to find a way to make the Legion of Doom more powerful. They have to be better than what they've been before, because the level we're at right now, Justice League is gonna just beat us again. So he teleports into this room, and he talking to this guy, and he like, okay, you're right, I need your help. And the guy starts laughing, and you look at who it is, and it's the man who laughs. And he's back, and he was like,
the Batman who laughs?
The Batman who laughs, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And he's telling Lex Luthor, I told you, Lex Luthor, now that you're here, now we can begin. And that's how the book ends. So, yeah. Whew, man. Scott Snyder, why do you have to Scott Snyder so much? Keep this shit simple, man. This shit is like really tough to get into. I have to read this shit like about 3 or 4 times to really understand, like, wait, what the fuck happened? What's going on? Why is the planet white again? So, yeah, I give the book a 3.5 out of 5. It is some awesome shit in there. You just have to dig in and find it, So, yeah.
All right. Sounds like a lot of work.
It is.
Busted your ass this weekend.
Right. That's why I just read 2 books in this end, so.
All right, well, let's see. What do I got? I got a bunch of indie books left. I guess I'll go with Predator Hunters 2, number 2. So, Predator Hunters, it's a group of folks who come in contact with a predator and survive. So now they're just like secret black ops team that go around the world hunting predators. This is the sequel to the last arc, which was last year. Right now, the hunters are in Afghanistan responding to predator circumstances going on in Afghanistan. Some of these terrorist cells are being killed by a predator, by an alien force that so they're going in and investigating. They're tracking this predator that's going around, killing all these jihadists, and they're at a village, and basically the people believe that it's a like an angel or the gene, whatever, the genie, those like angels or spirits that sort of watch over the people or whatever. That's what they believe is happening. That all these jihadists are being killed, and they're actually it's a good thing, and they're being protected. So they think it's like a spirit, an angel watching over them. But the team finds this kid who says, "Yeah, I know what's going on. It's not a genie. It's not an angel. It's something worse, because God would not do what's being done to these jihadists. And but I'll help you." So he agrees to help track this thing, and basically they're searching for they're about to go into the mountains to search for the predator's lair, and then they find there's some drones flying overhead. And you're like, what the fuck is that shit? And that's when the leader of the team, which her name's is it Jaina? She's kind of like the leader of the squad, and she lets them, or Jaya or whatever. she lets the team know that there's other black ops teams looking for predators too, but they're not out to kill the predators. They're after their tech. So that's why we need to get to this predator and get to the predator first before this other military group gets to them, because they just want their weaponry, and we can't let that technology fall into the wrong hands. So that's basically the gist of this story. It's starting to pick up. Like I said, my issue with these Predator books is they take a while to get going. But now with issue 2, it seems like we're getting some more heavy drama going on. The art is really cool. There's some really cool, violent, gory death scenes of Predator doing Predator shit. So yeah, I give it a 4 out of 5. I'm still on board, and it's just keeping me hyped for the Predator movie that's coming out in next week or the week in a couple weeks. Coming soon, the new Predator movie.
Okay. I'm thinking, Eli, we might need to do a big blowout for that movie.
Yeah?
I'll see. I'll see from now. I'm gonna look at the new trailer out, and we'll see how we go from there. Might do a blowout. So, and plus we see how it does at the box office also. See if we get some hits.
All right.
All right. So next book I'm gonna review is, what am I reviewing? Captain America 3. Like I said, last book I got.
Oh yeah.
Written by Ta-Nehisi Coates.
Mm-hmm.
And basically how the book starts off, they are in Kathy, I'm probably saying it wrong, Alberia, and basically it's Sharon Carter, because she was sent on a mission by Thunderbolt Ross with these 2 guys, and she's driving in this back road with these guys. She's in the back seat with them. She's like, it's okay, you don't have to take me here. I've been to this place before. I can go here on my own. And the 2 guys are telling her, no, it's okay to take this back road. It's better this way. So, Sharon's antennas are already up. So she just went ahead and just takes one guy out, stabs him, shoots him, stuff like that, and holds the other guy hostage. You get out the car, so because she knows something isn't right. So while they're doing that, we go back to Steve Rogers. He's undercover because he's been benched by Thunderbolt Ross. So he's undercover right now. He's in the small town. They never give the name of the small town, but he's there talking to this this townie. He's there, and he's just telling this whole situation about how his son is on drugs and his wife's on disability, and he got laid off from his job. And Steve is asking him, so what happened? Why are you doing so bad in life right now? He's like, why do you think? Because of Hydra. And he was like, because of Hydra? He's like, yeah. When Hydra was in charge, they had health care for everybody. They had jobs for everybody. They cleaned up the streets from drugs. Everybody had money in their pocket. It was a stable economy. Now look, I don't agree with everything they did because they were some fucking Nazis, but you got to admit that life was better when they were there. So then what changed? You were like, well, even though Hydra's there's another team that stepped in, called themselves the Power Elite, and they decided to step in and decided, pick up the pieces where Hydra left off. They decided to fund everything, help clean the drugs, and now everything is getting back to where it was before. So yeah, this is how America is supposed to be. So he holds up a beer, toast with Steve Rogers. Now this is the real America, So Steve leaves. He's sitting and talking to this guy like, man, this guy's a fucking dumbass. That ain't the real America. The real America is like when Pearl Harbor bombed us and we all agreed on the same policies and principle because America was united. That's the real America. He's talking to himself. Why he's muttering to himself and like that. Bug-shaped spaceship flies over his head, teleports him to the spaceship, and it's Black Panther and Okoye. Because apparently Wakandans can teleport now. So they're sitting there talking to him, and they're like, yeah, we got some more information. We found out what's going on. This whole nice town they have we're going to hear, it's a terrorist cell. We figured out what's going on. We know exactly what's going on. Those nuke terrorists that are going around, they've been terrorizing Chicago and Washington, they're right here in this town right here, and we know exactly where they are. They're like, oh, really? Yeah. Matter of fact, we know exactly who's building them. It's this guy named Zeke Stain. He's the one that's bioengineering these guys to crank out these nuke soldiers left and right. And Cap's like, oh, damn. And Black Panther like, no, it's worse than that. Not only is Zeke the one doing this stuff, he's being funded by somebody in Washington. Cap's like, oh shit, at this point I shouldn't even be surprised anymore. And Black Panther giving this long speech. No, Cap, you should be surprised. Because the moment that you don't have any faith in America, that's when America dies. Giving him the long speech like that. So like, okay, anyway, give me the plan, what's going on. And he tells him, okay, tell you what, Cap, this is what I'm gonna do for you. I will help you find the terrorist cell where the new soldiers are. I will help you uncover who's funding this operation. I just ask you one thing. Zeke Stain, his ass is mine. he tried to overthrow Wakanda a couple months ago because he in the Black Panther book, Coast Running, he was the guy behind everything. I want him, and I'm gonna have some words with him when I find him. And Cap's like, okay, deal, let's find him. But one thing with these soldiers, these American soldiers, is there any way we can save them? And Black Panther like, nah, we can't save them. I had my scientists look at it every single way we can. There's nothing we can do. So they decide to rush in. They bombard it, and it's like 100 nuke soldiers in there, and they just fight them all, just left and right. And the thing is, one of the soldiers actually get the drop on Cap and stabs him in the side. And the reason Cap is able to, and they're able to get the drop on Cap, because Cap isn't fighting these guys at full strength. Because he said he wasn't built to fight American soldiers. These guys are fighting against their will. This isn't Hydra. This isn't AIM. These are people that fought in the war just like he did, and they're forced against the will to do that. Meanwhile, while the nuke soldiers about to get the drop on Cap and kill him, Black Panther stabs him through the chest with a spear. And he realized, oh yeah, Black Panther doesn't give a shit about American soldiers. So, and while he stabs his chest through the spear teleports back in Black Panther's hand because Wakandans can teleport now, you know. And so they rush him and stuff like that. Then all of a sudden, Zeke Stain pops out of nowhere and he starts to get into the fight. And then Cap is able to get the drop on him by stabbing him with the same knife to stab him. And when he's stunned for a little while, Black Panther is standing over him. And Cap just looks at him like, you know what? I'm going to let you two have a conversation because y'all got a lot to catch up on. So I'm going to leave out of here. So he sees Okoye heading to the control center because they found a way to stop the nuke soldiers to get to the control center, but she can't get there because there's too many of the nuke soldiers. So Captain America rushes in, holds off like 100 nuke soldiers. He tells Okoye to get in the room, and I'm gonna hold them off as long as I can, but you got to hurry up, otherwise they're gonna, kill me. So she gets in there, put the virus in there, take out the nuke soldier. While she's in there, she finds some more information. So when she leaves out, of course, all the nuke soldiers fall to the ground. And he's about to, thank Black Panther for helping, stuff like that. But Okoye is like, Captain Rogers, my king, we have to get to Sharon Carter immediately. That's where it started. And then when we cut it back to Sharon Carter, she's got that, the guy in the car holding him hostage. She want to find information like why they were trying to assassinate her. What she could do that, this old lady in the green hoodie shows up and just sucks all the life out of that hostage. And she takes off the hoodie, and it's Celine, that same Russian bad guy we saw from the first issue. And she's like, I'm here to answer all your questions, Sharon Carter. And that's how the book ends. So, yeah. A lot of political intrigue and, a lot of subtext going on. So, a lot of interesting stuff going on with this book. Honestly, Eli, I'm putting this on my pull list.
It's on mine.
Yeah. Each issue seems to be getting better. So.
Yeah, I'm into it,
Yeah, so, I'm just wondering, why wasn't Coast doing this with... It doesn't make any sense, man.
Well, he just didn't have, fights. Nobody was fighting.
Yeah, now he's got to fight, and the fight scenes are clear. That's the thing about it,
It's like he had all these ideas, and I suppose I should have an action scene here, and it'd be like 2 panels.
Right, meanwhile, while Black Panther just monologuing about some other shit that has nothing to do with it. So, yeah.
And we're talking. You were talking about how politics in comics, and how it's turning people off. And I can see how some of them are so. The politics is so in your face. It's so blatantly just it does seem like an agenda. But I think this strikes a good balance.
It's kind of in your face, but at the same time, there's a lot more subtext to it. Also, it's almost both.
Yeah, it's very well balanced between the story, because you could just take this as just the storyline, of a superhero story. But yeah, it is layered with all this, social and political commentary. And I think he's doing a good job with that.
Yeah, I think in comics, Captain America and both Black Panther are 2 of the most political superheroes there are. People that write those books, it's almost impossible not to have political agenda with them. So you put them both in the same book, you have no choice but to, even if you make a story about werewolves or some shit, you're going to read some kind of political subtext into it. Just because of the nature of the characters.
Yeah, it's coming of age, it's the body changing, metamorphosis. Yeah, there's all kinds of layers to those stories. But what I liked too in this book was the fact, when Steve is in that small town America, and he's talking about how how Hydra or the Power Elite or whoever it is now made America great again.
Yeah,
and
they looked out for us. Like Washington forgot about us; they looked out for us.
Yeah, you see why they are backing this regime,
right?
And and that's the thing is like, yeah, you can say, yeah, it's a total parallel between Trump supporters and blah 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 blah, but you also see their perspective of that. I mean, small town America is, they're losing their jobs, they're losing their businesses,
right? And that's the thing. A lot of people don't understand, how can somebody be a Trump supporter? Coach is telling you. He's telling you right there how you make a Trump supporter.
Yeah, it's like, if you're from a small town, you don't live in a big city, and you rely on farmers and your businesses and the mines or whatever to for jobs in your economy, and all that's failing, and here comes some dude who says he's going to fix all that, you can tell how some people were like, okay,
You're right. They back that horse.
Yeah, nobody wants their life to suck. That's what we all have in common. I think he really touches on that. So, like
and
I think
it's both subtext and text at the same time.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And he doesn't blatantly, okay, you guys are bad guys now, because I think that's what turns a lot of these political comics off, or people off, with this political commentary in these comics, is because they take such a hard lined divisive stance,
right.
Whereas, like, oh, if it's a left stance, well, then if your views are conservative and right wing, well, then you're the enemy in these stories. And if you're then, well, I'd be pissed off too if I'm like, okay,
right. Every time you read a story, you're the bad guy.
I'm the bad guy, and this is the blood. So I can tell while some people are like, fuck comic books and fuck this bullshit. But I thought,
I understand it too. I mean, you don't want to see that every time you read it. You do want to see, shades of greyness sometimes.
Yeah, and I think that's what this book is doing really well. It's just painting this broad picture of what's going on in the country right now, while showing some kick-ass comic book writing.
Right.
So.
Good job, I'm Coach. He's becoming the writer that we always thought he could be in comics.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, but okay. 4.5 out of 5. So yeah.
Yeah, no shit. Yeah. All right, my last book.
One more thing I want to say about this, and I'll let you get to it. I can't give Coach too much credit, though. I do feel like he's piggybacking a lot of Nick Spencer's story, and a lot of stuff in here Nick Spencer was doing also before editorial cut his knees from under him. That's all I wanted to say from that. Yeah, but I'll continue.
Yeah. All right, so I got Bully Wars from Image Comics. Scotty Young. If you know who Scotty Young is, he's very cartoony. He did I Hate Fairyland. Didn't get too much into I Hate Fairyland. I read a few issues. I actually got a Fuck Fairyland variant cover, #1. I wonder if that's worth anything. But
hang on to it.
Yeah. But this is in that very same tradition of I Hate Fairyland, very cartoony artwork, bright colors, exaggerated features, and characters. So this is Bully Wars. This is a town of Rottenville where these 3 kids, they're sort of the outcasts. They're starting their first day of high school, and they have a bully. What's the guy's name again? I can't remember this kid's name. Anyway, the bully he's been bullied they've been bullied by this kid all their life, and he's following them to high school now, where he is claiming, okay, now it's high school, I have to, I have to establish myself as the alpha and show everybody who's the boss, because I'm the king of the bullies, thus far. But it turns out there's a twist. That kid ends up getting bullied by bigger kids. So yeah, the tables have turned. This bigger kid picks on him and fucks with him all day, and basically the bully is bullied, and he's like, "What the fuck am I gonna do? Tomorrow's we'll start fresh tomorrow. Blah blah blah. I gotta establish myself as the king of the bullies here." And one of the outcasts basically comes in and says, "Hey, I'm gonna help you out." So we have a little bit of the team up. The bullied and the bully will be teaming up. So It's a lot of fun. It's not as violent as I Hate Fairyland was, so it seems like it's got a good message going, and it just seems like a lot of fun. I'm gonna give this a whirl. I give it a 4 out of 5. The art is, it's Scotty Young. It's really cool, crazy artwork, and it's just got a fun message, So positivity. So yeah, 4 out of 5.
I just feel like I Hate Fairyland just has some negative connotation to it, but that's just me.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, especially at the time, there was, you had Adventure Time, you had all those sort of really cartoony, Headlopper and all that stuff going around, just sort of these exaggerated takes on fantasy genres and stuff like that. And it was it had a sort of a Johnny the Homicidal Maniac feel for it. I felt that hooked me for a little bit, but I just didn't stay with it, and it was just an acquired taste. I mean, I'm just too old. But this is, like I said, this is just fun, just good old fashioned fun. So yeah.
Nice. Okay. Shoot, you got any more?
No, that's it.
Really?
I read a bunch, but I don't want to talk about it. Border Town, I read that awesome art, but I don't know where it's going. Border Towns, it's Vertigo. It's Arizona. There's on the border town, Mexico-American border. There's like a doorway to a demon world, Aztec demon world. So there's all kinds of blatant political, in-your-face politics going on. Reminds me a little bit of that. What's the Will Smith orc movie?
What movie?
The Will Smith on Netflix with the orcs and shit.
Right, yeah.
It kind of like that, where it's like taking the horror fantasy genre and just, replacing it with, insert your political commentary here.
Gotcha.
Kind of like that. I don't know. Art's really cool, but I'm not sure. I might stick with number 2 just to see where it's going, because, like I said, the art is cool, but not sure about it. So that's Border Town. And then I read some other Batman, but I don't feel like talking about that shit.
Don't worry. Every other podcast will talk about Batman, whatever happened in that one. So yeah, good luck with that. I'm interested in seeing what they got to say about the books we got, because I know they're gonna do the books we did, and I just want to hear their, the thing about it. I know Gomer has been raving about the Captain America, so I'm interested in what he says on, Comic Cast. So, yeah,
like Thanos. There was that Thanos book that I was eyeing, and like as Guardians of the Galaxy, I thought, oh, Leroy's gonna read that.
I didn't really give a shit, be honest with you.
Yeah, I almost picked up the Thanos book, but I'm like, then I was like, damn, this sounds like it's referring to all the shit that I haven't been following. So I figured I wouldn't know what was going on.
That's the thing, I wouldn't know either. Plus, I saw Captain America had a new run. I was like, those are 2 books I got. I got Justice League, Captain America, fuck Asgardians of the Galaxy, Frog Thor, and whatever the fuck is going on in here. So, yeah, like I said, if you listen to it this long, definitely like, share, and subscribe. Definitely listen to our sister podcast, Geek Sav. Listen to all the other podcasts we have, Comic Cast, we have Get Decent Comics, we have Talking Football or something. Get Valiant, yes, they're still going strong. I'm missing somebody. Instruments of Destruction, probably fucked that up. Anyway, Hoodoo TV, listen to those guys too. So we got a whole bunch and probably some more down the pipeline that I have no idea about. Yeah, and like I said, basically tweet into us or Facebook us and ask me, am I right or am I racist? If you get one of them right, you might win something. I don't know. That being said, this is Leroy.
This is Eli.
And I'm about to go play Spider-Man. Cool. That's it. Oh, shit. Yeah, how we looking on time? That'd be too bad.
1:27, but we didn't start for a little bit. So.
Yeah, we took a lot of time just fucking off.
That's what I got.
All right. So, let me cut this shit off.